The outcome of mind uploading.
There's one thing that I consider the greatest danger, which is that there could be restricted access to the technology. So if the technology is somehow developed in a closed fashion, so that it's basically black boxed by someone, be it government or a corporation or whatever, then you have a problem, because then you have a few individuals or a few groups with access, and because of the potential capabilities and whatever you may ascribe to that in terms of power or money or whatever, no access to others, and access could be barred. And this is, I think, is one of the biggest dangers. So really we need to have someone looking after our interests when it comes to the development of the technology.
And right now, the development of neuroprosthetics and mind uploading technology, would you say it is occurring mostly in the open right now, or are we still at this stage where governments and militaries are working in secret labs on this type of technology and keeping it from the general public?
I don't have any secret insight into anything happening in military labs, so all I know is what's out in the open, and it seems that even DARPA, for example, is carrying out its interest in, say, for example, research in the human connectome, which is intricately connected to what we need to know for whole brain emulation, in the open. These are projects that are out there for anyone to participate in. So right now, it certainly looks as if it's all out in the open.
It's pretty open. Well, that's good to hear. And before we get into a couple of final questions here, I wanted to check with the audience once again to see if anyone has some questions for Professor Koene tonight. I did see one question when we did mention about the different being substrate independent and uploading a mind onto a different substrate. Someone asked, can you envision any other type of media besides silicon at this point, where our mind could be uploaded? I know the possibilities are endless as you think far into the future. But just in today's day and age, from our current perspective, it seems like that would be the candidate is silicon. But is there any other substrate that people are envisioning?
I haven't heard of many other possibilities. I mean, people have talked about holographic computers of one sort or another, or quantum computers, and trying to put an upload on that. But that's very speculative, of course. But what I have heard interest in is the possibility of basically downloading and taking something from the copy, backup, silicon, whatever you want to call it, and putting it back into an organic brain. I could see that as a possibility. I don't know how that would be achieved. To me, that's another big project, another big problem, but I know that there are people interested in doing that.
Okay, and we had another question, too, about getting involved with this type of research, neuroprostheses and mind uploading type research. How would, say, a young person who's an undergraduate at university get involved? Do some of these research projects like what you do at Technalia, or say what they do at Blue Brain, do they have internships that are available? And in an adjunct question here as well, what would be the first type of classes someone should focus on if they are going to get into neuroengineering?
Well, I'm not exactly sure which would be the first class, but I think that you certainly should focus on learning a lot about the computations going on in the brain. So any classes on computational neuroscience are very valuable.
Okay.
But right now, there's also a great need for new methods to do neural recording in vivo. So anyone with experience in microscopy, neural interfacing, and in nanotechnology, those are going to be fields that will be increasingly necessary for this kind of work. So if you're looking into what kind of education to pursue, those fields, and material science, very good.
Okay.
Then, as far as becoming involved with this kind of work, well, there are a number of things I could say. First of all, yes, we do sometimes have internships at the Department of Neuroengineering and Technalia. And in fact, we had a really bright intern just recently who is still involved with us now after leaving. So that's certainly a possibility. There is also a new endeavor that we've started, which is an organization meant to turn around the way that we're working on this project and to take an objective-oriented approach rather than a technology-centered approach to the problem, to go and take a step backwards look at everything with an open perspective and create a roadmap to whole brain emulation and mind uploading in order to leverage what's coming out of science in general. And we want to add more volunteers to that effort and do fundraising so that we can get this going in a real accelerated way. And yeah, I mean, always open to people contacting me and getting in touch if they want to be involved. Absolutely.
Great. All right. That would be that's great information for anyone out there in the audience there tonight who might be interested in this type of research. And I saw that you were at the Singularity Summit just recently in New York and gave a presentation. I just wanted to know what your general impression of the Singularity Summit was this year as compared to perhaps other summits you have been to.
This is my first summit that I've been to, because this curious thing is actually, even though I've been involved with this now for over 2 decades or so, and I came up with the whole term whole brain emulation about 11 years ago and all this stuff, I have not really been involved with the popular side of things so much as I've stuck to the science side. So I've only just started entering the transhumanist, etc. communities in some way. Well, this was... I liked the summit a lot. It had a very good set of strong speakers, and the topics were interesting. And what I have to say was the most interesting was actually the workshops that happened afterwards. This was not the public event, but there was a set of workshops that the speakers and a few invitees participated in, and it was really surprising. We had conversations about AGI, and we also had conversations about whole brain emulation or mind uploading.
Yeah.
And we did a poll about halfway through about what people thought should occur first, or what should we strive towards first. And the surprising thing was that of the 25 to 30 people assembled there, all but 3, so up to 27 people versus 3, wished that mind uploading would be brought about before AGI, so that we should try to focus on ways of bringing about that before AGI, or even slowing down AGI in order to get mind uploading to happen first.
Wow.
Mostly because of concerns about what would happen if we cannot ourselves benefit from the kinds of advantages and benefits that we see AGI gaining because they're in silicon and they can quickly upgrade and advance, etc., when you get to human level intelligence.
Right. That is an interesting...
And that was really surprising, because even the organizers of the summit, who come, of course, from the Singularity Institute, which is mainly aimed at this AI.
Yeah, that's right.
We're voting the same way. In fact, I mean, there were really only 3 holdouts, one of whom, I probably shouldn't say, so I won't say who it was.
Okay, yeah, you don't
but anyway,
have
it was interesting.
Yeah, and that dovetails with another question that we had tonight about, someone brought up again, copying the mind into a new substrate, uploading a mind into a new substrate. And this exact point that you just brought up about the safety of AGI versus the safety of uploading a human mind. And the viewer asks, do you have interest in improving the human mind in other ways, besides merely just copying it and moving it to a different substrate? Do you then see more artificial intelligence enhancement of the human brain?
Absolutely. I think that's a natural thing that's going to happen anyway, because I believe that competition is absolutely natural. It's something that you see not only in biology, but also in physics. You see competition everywhere. And natural selection, of course, is a result of that. So I think that you're going to see this in uploaded brains as well, that we're going to want to enhance them. And there are many different things you could do, but I'm concentrating on how to get there first, so I don't spend a lot of time speculating about the types of enhancements.
I mean, I know that can kind of get into long discussions that you typically have after a Singularity Summit session, right? What is possible in the far future. Yeah, that's right. And I just wanted to say, is there anything that you wanted to promote with regards to your research, or perhaps any book or new updates to your website, or any other conferences you might be attending in the near future that people can go see you speak?
Actually, I think that I've already had the opportunity to promote something that I think is important, which is this new effort that we're starting to do an objective-oriented approach to mind uploading and home emulation, and the fact that I'm searching for people who want to be involved with this.
Oh, do you have a name for the organization that's going?
Well, it's still a bit tentative, but we
okay.
have a website, again, a tentative website up, where we're collecting the members, and this website is called neuroprostheses.org.